AI researchers aren't just building tools for entertainment or convenience. They are pushing artificial intelligence to its limits, testing, refining, and challenging what machines can do.
Oxford University teaches its students how to use AI so they can learn more effectively and efficiently. AI has the potential to transform and accelerate your learning. It could become a talented tutor for you. And that's not just my opinion. This research found that AI enhances academic performance and study efficiency, but there is a high chance that you're not using it properly. Because AI is good at doing things, we ask it to do things, write a report, summarize a paper. It's useful, but the more we ask it to do for us, the less we end up doing for ourselves. But that's no good because it's the doing where we learn. You wouldn't get a personal trainer to run round a track for you and expect that to have any benefit. So instead, use it as a trainer. Get it to challenge and guide you.
Every breakthrough raises a bigger question. How far can AI go, and what happens if it gets there?
Does humanity know what it's doing?
No. I think we're moving into a period when, for the first time ever, we may have things more intelligent than us.
You believe these systems have experiences of their own and can make decisions based on those experiences?
In the same sense as people do, yes.
Are they conscious?
I think they probably don't have much self-awareness at present. So in that sense, I don't think they're conscious.
Will they have self-awareness, consciousness?
Oh, yes. I think they will in time.
And so human beings will be the second most intelligent beings on the planet.
Yeah.
Who are these researchers? They work at universities, startups, and leading technology companies, developing new AI models, testing bold ideas, and pushing the limits of what machines can do. What drives them? Some hope AI will accelerate medicine, science, education, and discovery. Others are motivated by curiosity and the challenge of creating systems that can solve increasingly complex problems.
Guys, Karen Howe, one of the top AI researchers, dropped a pretty eye-opening interview on AI and its dangers.
I think it's because they're driven by an imperial agenda, and that is why I call these companies empires of AI.
What do you mean by an imperial agenda? What does that term mean?
Empire is the only metaphor that I've ever found to fully encapsulate all of the dimensions of what these companies do and the scale that they operate and what motivates them to do what they do. And there are many parallels that you see between what I call the empires of AI and the empires of old. They lay claim to resources that are not their own in the pursuit of training these models. That's the data of individuals, the intellectual property of artists, writers, and creators. They're land grabbing in order to build these supercomputer facilities for training the next generation models. Second, they exploit an extraordinary amount of labor. They contract hundreds of thousands of workers all around the world, including in the US, to ultimately make these technologies. We can talk about that more. And they also design their tools to be labor automating so that when the technologies are deployed, it also affects labor rights because it erodes away labor rights. And this is a political choice that they have. Third, they monopolize knowledge production. So they project this idea that they're the only ones that really understand how the technology works. And so if the public doesn't like it, it's because they don't actually know enough about this technology. They do this to the public, they do this to policymakers, and they've also captured the majority of the scientists that are working on understanding the limitations and capabilities of AI.
AI research has become a global race. Companies compete to release more capable models while nations invest billions to secure a technological advantage. Every breakthrough raises the stakes.
All right, Nick, you guys have a great piece that you put out that talks about the Rebel Alliance when it comes to how the AI industry is going to evolve. What exactly is the Rebel Alliance?
So the Rebel Alliance is our view that AI is too big an opportunity to be dominated by one or two or three companies, and that it's actually forming into a massive ecosystem. And we're seeing that happen in real time as agents and agentic approaches, start to take hold. And that's really two things. It's like agents that interact with consumers as AI doctor agents, AI financial advisor agents, these sort of personified agents. They're going to be approaching every sector and every use case. And then also under the hood, it's agents as infrastructure. What we're seeing now is the agentic stack is forming like the compute stack formed, in the prior eras of the web and mobile, where, we're not just talking about what are the products that people interact with, but how are every product going to get built. And that's agents under the hood, agents as infrastructure, fleets of agents that are going to get orchestrated in millions of ways. And what that says to us is that agents and the agentic AI approach is taking over. And it's going to look more like the fabric of computing and apps than I think the thing that a lot of us are maybe afraid of, which is everything collapsing into one or two apps like a ChatGPT or a Claude.
Now, if you were talking like Peter Thiel, he'd be like, competition's for losers. I want to find the monopoly. He's done a great job of that throughout his career. You're really arguing that like that is not going to be the end state here?
Well, there are real network effects in AI, right? In model training and, quality. And so, so far we've seen compounding advantage going to the big labs. And the big question has been, how far will that take us? And how much of advantage will that accrue? Especially as they go farther up into the application layer and get access into more data from more.
As AI grows more powerful, researchers face difficult choices. How should these systems be used? How can they reduce bias, limit misuse, protect privacy, and balance innovation with safety?
And robotics are not far behind. Maybe in another 5 years, we'll have humanoid robots capable of automating physical labor. I anticipate very high levels of unemployment. It doesn't mean 100%. There are always jobs people want others to do who are human for them, for whatever reason, but it's a very small subset of a market.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of jobs, which jobs do you think will exist and which jobs do you think are going to become obsolete or even extinct?
Pretty much anything you do just to get money. You hate the job, it's dirty, it's not fun, but you have no choice. Hopefully will be gone. Jobs where you're having a lot of fun, maybe interviewing interesting people. It's a hobby. It gets separated from making income, and those jobs would likely remain.
Mm-hmm. There was a report by the World Economic Forum which said that by 2027, about 44% of the tasks would be automated and may not exist. And by 2050, there were several jobs, especially the white-collar jobs, which may actually become defunct, which may not be existing any longer.
The work is demanding. Researchers operate in a fast-moving field where new discoveries can quickly change the direction of technology. Every advance brings new opportunities and new responsibilities. The future of AI won't be determined by algorithms alone. It will also be shaped by the people guiding their development. Understanding AI begins with understanding the minds behind it.